This is quick news. Trump declares public safety emergency in Washington, D.C. relating to Pambandi to take over the police, federal possibly takeover allegedly, and also relating to the so-called crime and homelessness situation. There's various reports relating to that. UN officials rush to finalize details of Alaska talks this Friday. And Trump's going to bring up a report talking about possible talking with Putin about land swapping of Ukraine with Putin. You have an judge rejects the bid for unsealed relating to the grand jury records of Ghislaine Maxwell relating to transcripts. You have an Trump delays 145 tariffs on China for another 90 days. And really, China is a major key holder related to U.S., so the U.S. has to kind of play nice with China in a matter of speaking. One dead. This relates to a steel plant explosion. Dozens wounded, one deleted. President Trump considers reclassifying marijuana under federal law. So he considers reclassifying marijuana under federal law. You have three relating to a new North Austin target relating to three deletions relating to that. You have an U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro praises Trump for federal crime crackdown, wants to stop D.C.'s council absurd. Now you had a report talking about crime has been down in D.C., I believe like 7% since last year or something, 26% in related to this, certain things. So, you know, allegedly. The numbers could be, you know, Tropical Storm Aaron forecast to become a major hurricane on the Atlantic. Right here. Back at the tropical storm, perhaps. You had Milwaukee, major flood in Milwaukee, 15 inches of rain. I seen that report yesterday. Cars were flooded like this one. Houses were flooded. This is in Wisconsin. You have Israeli military target Al Jazeera correspondent deleting him and 4 other journalists. So a journalist is a very dangerous job, man, especially in the overseas, man, in that part of the region. European nations rally against Ukraine, says peace can't be resolved without Kyiv, which is Ukraine. Colorado wildfires, leaf fires grow, the 5th largest in the state history. So you have a wildfires, you have a flooding. Scripture talks about related tempest, wind, storms, even devouring fire. 29:6 of Isaiah. So you're seeing the fires, you're seeing the flooding, major flooding, different places. Georgia officer deleted, CDC was a Boston native. Supreme Court firmly asked to overturn the landmark, the same-sex marriage ruling. So this is different reports, quick reports, real quick. Trump shots America deploy relating to National Guards in the U.S. Capitol. Today is Liberation Day, I believe, in D.C. So I don't know the purpose of this relating to National Guards. You know, maybe a show of a show of power and strength, or just a show of distraction, in the matter of speaking. You have U.S. military preparing for National Guard activation, D.C. You see in various reports. This is Crux report. So we seeing relating to China, Africa, relating to payment in yuan, where Africa's ditching the U.S. dollar. So that's another report. And I seen something with I believe Mexico, Cuba, and Russia related to a southern deal. I see now on a video. Let me see. The other day. Relates to Africa. To ditch the dollar. There we go. In the historical geographical shift, Mexico has officially broken the U.S. blockade on Cuba, opening direct flights from Russia. Russia and Cuba have their ties relating to history. Going back to when Kennedy was, during the Cuban crisis in the 60s. This is more than just a transportation deal, with the birth of the powerful new alliance between Mexico, Cuba, Russia, shaking the foundations of American dominance in America, Latin America. The former president, as former President Trump escalates isolationist rhetoric and pushes tariffs, wars, Mexico quietly rewrites the rules of choosing economical cooperation with Russia, Cuba over traditional U.S. control. Russian investments in Cuban ports, nuclear tech in Mexico, and a strategic corridor for Mexico. So Cuban ports, open the ports up, Cuba, the blockades, let them be open. Technical support in Mexico, so collaboration with Cuba, Mexico, and they're Russian. So that's pretty much the southern connection, right underneath the arrow pointing south under the U.S., man. Russian investments in Cuban ports, nuclear tech in Mexico, and a strategic air corridor from Moscow to Havana, Yucatan, are building a new trade and energy axis, man. So that trade and energy axis is Mexico and Cuba, and so Mexico, Cuba, Russia. So that's a new connection. And you seeing the beginning isolation relating to isolating U.S. out, man. All these other countries are doing stuff to center, to isolate and alienate U.S. out of it, man. You know what I mean? Now, I seen a report in NVIDIA. We'll get China's. We'll get 15% of relating to the chips. They'll get 50. NVIDIA will give U.S. related to 15% of related to China's chips, related to those the chips. Let me see something. Yeah, AI chips. Government will take a cut of NVIDIA and AI chips sales to China. That's 15%. That's what I was talking about. It's agreed to pay the U.S. government 15% of AI chips and the sales relating to China, from China. Sales to China. Okay, that's what that is. NVIDIA and AMD to pay 15% of China's chip sale revenues to U.S. government. So U.S. going to get a portion of that, 15% of that. And like I said, all these this is just quick reports, real quick news. I hope it helps related to information. Zayal Wolf. All praise Yahweh Shemir, Shabbat Shemir, Kakada, Zayal Wolf, Shalom. Know this in the last days, a perilous time shall come. You know, the scripture talks about be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. You know what I mean? Scripture talks about be circumspect as fools, as wise, redeeming the times, because the days are evil. You know what I mean? So we're in crucial times, economically, socially, in all aspects. You know what I mean? So you're seeing a lot of stuff happening, man. You see a lot of stuff formulating and you know, building up. All right, this is Iowa Shawa.